We open on young Spencer York on the playground. He can't be more than the age of 6 or 7. His parents, before going off on a mission, are handing him this small little item. It's like a little house. Like, it's too small to be like a real house, but it's still made to kind of look like a normal house. They hand him that. They tell him to treasure it, and this is right before they go off on some sort of business trip that they're always going on. They work for the government of the United States of America, leaving him with his aunt for the time. Not a place he loves to be, but still, it is what it is. The minute he touches the box, though, he starts to hear a voice in his head. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. And for some reason, just outside the peripherals of his vision, he kind of starts to turn, and he can almost see maybe a square edge of something that could potentially be a door, and then he's distracted by his aunt calling him in, and he walks off. We then fast forward through his life. He's then standing over the graves of his mother and father. Not much later, maybe 10, 11, very sad day, in a suit, looking down upon the closed caskets. He's alone on this rainy day, and suddenly, again, in the back of his head, open the door, open the door, open the door. Again, he can't help but start to turn. And this time he sees a little bit more, something blue, just outside his field of vision, and then he's distracted by his aunt. We fast forward again to him alone, him not alone, him with his band, playing on stage, rocking out. The Windows to the Soul is what the band is called. With him on bass, his partner, Marcus, his friend. He met him in high school. They've been playing together their entire life, and Marcus is just a much more positive person, keeping Spencer kind of more sane and rooted. But even on stage while he's playing, he yet again continues to hear that voice in his head. Open the door. Open the door. Again, he starts to turn. This time he can almost make out what seems to be a blue oak kind of standard door, something that would lead into a parlor or a study, but is just kind of freestanding. But then he's back in the music. He again refuses. There's something about that door that's foreboding, something about that door that's frightening, something about that door that truly cuts to the core of Spencer York. Still, we move on. We fast forward even further to him in an old folks' home. That's right, his buddy Marcus, with him in the room, kind of waking up another day. Spencer has lived a full life, a life that has been relatively in solitude, with the exception of Marcus. He's had plenty of people he's known, but he's always picked his music first. Always felt a weird disconnect to most people and relationships, and therefore he's never really forged a family. Instead, he's kind of lived vicariously through Marcus in that way. Marcus being the great-grandfather now of his kids, having forged a family, but still always finding time to play with Spencer in the band. And again, and it has been long time since Spencer has heard the voice telling him to open the door. And thankfully, whatever that was, he assumes is gone for good. Okay, at this point, we're going to start with Spencer back in the room with Marcus. He's like, what is it with that thing? And he points at your little house, your little wooden house. It's a little wooden blue house.
You don't want to hear that story again, Marcus.
He's like, I just can't believe you still got that. I mean, you carrying that with you all the way till now. I mean, what are we, in our 70s, 80s? I can't even remember at this point. And you still got that damn thing with you. He walks over and kind of picks it up and looks at it. He's the only one that you kind of trust to pick it up. There's just some sort of weird attachment to that. Maybe it's you being attached to your lost parents or whatever, but it does definitely bother you a little bit, but he's the one that, like, you're kind of semi-okay with it.
Guess we just keep what we can. Enough about me. Do we have anything happening today? It's just another day.
Your depression, again, just hits the wall of Marcus's golden retriever outlook, and he just fires right back at you with, "Oh yeah, we do! That guitarist, that Jagger, is coming back today. He's gonna play for us again. I mean, he's not as good as Jack was. Jack being an old bandmate that's long gone from you guys, but he's pretty good, and I like some nice live music around here."
As long as it's not that kids' choir again.
Now, Jagger has been coming weekly. This will be the third time he's come. However, there has been... Yeah, this will be the third time that he's come. Basically. And he's like, yeah, that kids' choir. I mean... I appreciate them, but they just can't hit the same notes. I mean, you got to give it to them, though. They're cute as hell.
Yeah, they'll get there eventually.
Marcus then has this, cracks a smile, like the dirty old man that he is, and, like, nudges you and goes, "That candy striper's coming around today. You know the one. You know the one."
Oh... You're still at that, are you?
Well, hey, I mean, I'm
not
old.
Any younger, man?
Right, I'm old and I'm single. What are you gonna do? Guy can dream. Don't take that away from me.
Yeah, you were telling me about old habits.
It's like, what? My wife is long dead. God rest her soul. She knew I was a hound dog. I gotta look.
Best of luck to you, I guess.
It's like, all right, you gonna be okay by yourself for a little while? I gotta go meet the family. They're visiting today.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. Say hi for me.
Marcus kind of walks over, combs his hair. He puts on kind of a nice loose-fitting flannel shirt, some jeans, and then just kind of like limps off down the hall. And we switch off to Bethany Parks, who is not a candy striper, so to speak, but basically that. You're showing up for work at the Harmonic Oaks. Is our old folks home. I'm sorry, Harmonic Pines is the old folks home that you work at. It's a nice place. It's not a big place. Much smaller old folks home. I think there's only like 10 or 12 residents right now, and they're relatively new, slowly starting to build up clientele. You kind of walk in the front door at the place. And, you walk right up to Hank Tomek, who's standing out front. Large, Caucasian dude, bald head with some facial hair, and he's not necessarily, like, toned or buff, but he's just big, and you know him as the head orderly. He sees you walking in. Let's get a description of Bethany.
So Bethany is a 5'5" female. She's medium build, so she's not like really thin, but she's not really big. But she is able to lift a good amount because, of course, of her doing her schooling and stuff like that. They do require a certain amount being able to be lifted to be able to take care of the elderly. She has short brown hair, so she's like got like a bob cut.
Okay.
And she always wears a gold locket on her neck that her great grandmother gave her.
Oh, nice. I like that. Okay. So at this point you walk right in. Hold on one second. Okay. So you walk in. Hank looks at you and goes, "Oh, Bethany, how you doing today?"
I'm doing wonderful. I was just wondering, what's my rounds today? Who do I get to visit with?
Oh man, I'm not sure. You're gonna have to talk to Donna for that. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah, she's usually the one that makes the schedules, but I thought maybe she relayed it to you today.
No, I just got here myself. I was sent right over to the mess hall. I gotta clean up another mess.
Oh, well, I hope it's not too bad this time.
Yeah, I hope so too. We gotta get ready for that guitarist. Were you here the last time he was here?
Oh, he hurt my ears. I stood in the back, but of course, I didn't stay for too long.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep having him come back, honestly. Most of the patrons complain about it, except for, your favorite, Mr. Marcus.
Oh, that man, he's still living his days, isn't he?
Yes. All you have to do is complain about him. We can get you taken off the rounds with him. She is, of course, referring to his roommate. The dirty.
No, it's okay. Marcus, he's just being himself.
Okay. Offer's open, though.
I appreciate it.
He then walks on by. Donna Palin is the head doctor / administrator at the Harmonic Pines. She has an office. Like, you're kind of standing in the main lobby. There's like a little desk here where the secretary usually sits, or some phones. That's actually not occupied right now. They are really small, so they've kind of moved their staff around to be there at like peak times when people would come in.
Right.
So it's one of those ring the bell sort of situations. But just behind that desk is where you would find Donna Palin's office.
Right, so I'm going to go ahead and head into Donna's office to see what rounds and who I got to visit today to kind of take care of some stuff.
All right, you walk into Donna Palin's office, and she is a short, squat redhead with kind of like a pixie cut haircut that doesn't exactly accentuate, like, it's not really a great haircut for her, but she kind of looks up from her glasses and just goes, "Ah, Bethany, you're early."
Well, I always try to be early. You know how I like to try and make sure I get everything in order before I have to start doing my rounds, Donna.
She gives you a hard look. Donna and you don't exactly clash. You're a friendly person, and she doesn't dislike you or anything, but it doesn't seem like Donna necessarily likes anybody, really. You are doing this Candy Striper thing also to get college credit for your nursing gig as well. They're one of the only places that has offered that, because you are going to school for nursing. So Donna looks at you and goes, "You're not going to get any more extra credit. You know that, right?"
Donna, I wasn't looking for no extra credit. I'm just, wanting to see who I gotta be visiting today. Maybe sitting down, reading a few stories, or, listening to the old stories from, their childhood, or whatever's going on with them today.
She's like, "Oh, yes, the virtuous Bethany. I forget. You're just trying to make everybody happy." She has
doesn't need to be happy.
She has this like sardonic, very cynical outlook. Does Donna? So she's like, "Okay, all right. Well, here's your rounds." She hands you a piece of paper that kind of tells you what rooms you're going to go to, what times you're going to go to. She actually has you doing a split shift today. You're here in the morning, kind of helping out, and then you get a big 2-hour break. But then after that, she wants you around for you can see that you're on the schedule for the guitarist, which is actually, as you said, you're not exactly sure that you want to be there for the guitarist.
Right. Well, Donna, thanks for my rounds for today. Just remember, not everybody comes here just to be bored.
Yeah. All right. I'll try and be nice or whatever, Parks. Got it.
Well, have a cherry day.
Oh my god. She like sighs, just your perkiness. Like like every scene has had a super perky depressed person in it so far. So you go about your rounds. We're gonna fast forward time a little bit. Spencer, do you do anything specific in that amount of boring time between while Marcus is seeing his family or not?
Honestly, probably not a lot.
Okay.
Just, looking out the window, looks out, turns on the old TV.
Just singing memories to yourself.
At it.
All right. So you look out the window for a while. You turn on the TV. You do get a knock at your door. It's Bethany. She's on her first round. Beth, you're knocking on her door to check on him.
Hello, is anyone in here today?
Oh. Miss Parks, come in.
Oh, I was expecting for Marcus to be in here with you. Is he out and about?
Oh, his family's here again.
Oh, well, don't tell him. I'm kind of excited it's just you. So how are we doing today?
You know, just another one.
Well, don't always gotta look at it as a bad thing. At least, you're here and I get to see your beautiful face today.
Aw.
Save some of that for the rest of them.
Oh, well, I have enough love for everyone. So anything you want to just chit-chat with? You got any checkerboard? Do you want to play some checkers? Some chess? I'm just here to kind of keep you guys company.
Yeah, I guess we still got old games. Never really, not my thing.
Really?
So much I can do with these hands anymore.
Well, do you have some great stories? I love to listen to stories.
I don't know if there's anything I haven't already said.
Yeah.
Just want to hear some old man's glory day stories.
So, I see you have a lot of trinkets in your room. Is there, keepsakes that you just always keep around?
That's what I got. Just me and a handful of little things left behind.
Left behind. Mm.
Bethany,
Yeah.
why don't you give me a real quick intelligence and perception awareness roll. So we're gonna put the difficulty at a 10.
So I got a 20.
Okay, you do notice his house, his little blue house that sits next to his bed at all times. He's always fiddling with it. I guess it would be next to him on the chair right now if he's watching TV. But yeah, you do notice the house, without a doubt, that he has... You've literally noticed it before. It's one of those things, but this time, now that you're just mentioning keepsakes, it just comes up in your head that, hey, there's a house there. You always have that house,
So the little blue house, has it got any meaning to you? Because you seem to have it close by you all the time.
Oh, this old thing. Yeah, you keep things around while you got them. Had this
Old thing?
darn near as far as I can remember.
I'm gonna, of course, go to grab for it to kind of look at it over, or just look everything over on it.
Okay.
Am I able to grab it?
Oh, if you're gonna jump for it.
Let me ask you a question real quick before we go further. Bethany, are you trying to, snatch it from him, or are you just reaching for
No,
it?
I'm just kind of,
Okay.
gently just grabbing it, kind of just overlooking it, because I'm gonna add something to it.
That's no problem. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a roll that would be required. So
No.
she just reaches out calmly for it. She's not stealing it from him.
It's definitely gonna bristle a little bit. You don't want to get that that old thing on you. It's fine.
Are you sure? I mean,
to get it back.
Oh, well, I mean, it's really unique. It's got different, like, markings and stuff on it. It's very unique, not from our time. My great-grandmother, she used to talk about these in the stores.
Well, that's, back in my time, these were just a thing real long time ago. I don't know why they stopped making them.
So how did you come about with one of these? I mean, this has been years and years, and I mean, you've kept it in wonderful condition.
Yeah. The only thing I'd break along the way is guitars and hearts. This little thing, nah.
Well, how do you travel so much with it? Because I mean, with you guys talk about your old days with the rock and roll and, concerts and stuff. This thing's kind of delicate. If you had it in your backpacks or suitcases and stuff, how did you not break it? I mean, it's in superb condition.
Oh, yeah. Had a couple of close calls.
How does Marcus feel about you having this in the room?
Oh, he's just gonna give me a hard time about it, like always. We've been through this for years.
Well, you know how Marcus is with the ladies. You can't have, not cool stuff in your room.
Oh, believe me, I've not heard the last of that.
He's about the ladies, he's one of my favorites. He always is making comments about my pretty smile or, what I'm doing today.
Oh, well, can't say he's harmless, but he means well.
Of course. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll put this back down. I don't want it to get broken or anything. I just thought I'd ask, because I've seen that a lot in the room, and it just kind of always had a thought in the back of my mind of how it came about in your hands.
Bethany, as you go to set it down, suddenly you notice something. Basically, because it's one big room. The room is one big room. There's no like kitchen or anything. There's like a little living area, and then there's two beds kind of opposite each other. So it's not huge. It's like almost like an efficiency apartment without the kitchen. And then there's a bathroom in here. You do see in the weirdest place where a door has never been before. You see this blue door at the foot of Spencer York's bed, just in the wall, like it's always been there, and it's not there, like it's a closet or something. And like right off the bat, you're like, man, I don't remember that door being there. And you immediately think to yourself, how would that door be there? That door would enter into the next room because it's next to another one. It's not like, how is that there? How could that be a closet or whatever?
Spencer, give me just a moment. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go check on something, but I'm coming right back, okay? I just need to go next door to check on something, and I'll be right back, okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, you just move. Go on, Miss Beth. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, well, like I said, I'll be right back. So I'm gonna go over to the next room, because again, it's showing it's on my list.
Okay.
And I'm gonna check on the other side of the wall where I would have seen that blue door to see if it continues to go through the wall, so I see it in the same room but in that location.
Okay. When you go into the next room, when you go over to the next room, you realize that the next room is not occupied by anybody. It is unoccupied, so the door itself is actually locked. And while the orderly would have keys, you don't, because you're only supposed to interact with the actual patients, basically.
Right. I'm gonna go back into Spencer's room. Hey Spencer? Have you ever noticed this added closet? I don't remember them saying there was going to be any constructions in your guys' rooms this week.
When you look around at what she's pointing at, there is no door there. And Bethany, you no longer see the door now that you're pointing it out.
Okay, well, never mind. Maybe I'm just seeing things.
Well,
I'll have to mention that maybe to Donna.
I'm not the only one seeing things around here. Well, you take care of yourself, Miss Beth.
Well, Spencer, if you see it again, just maybe write it down on a note or something. I mean, I will be in tomorrow again to do more rounds, and I'll make a special stop just to see if anything you've noticed.
Alright.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get going. But I will stop back by tonight before, of course, I leave, because, you know, they're supposed to have that rock guy again here.
Oh, yeah, well, he's alright.
Well, you're used to all that banging and clanging stuff.
Yeah, he'll get better eventually.
Well, hopefully, because right now what he's been playing, it doesn't sound the greatest. I mean, I've heard some rock and roll songs on the music box and stuff, but that doesn't sound like that stuff on the box.
Kids. It's still probably too early for you.
Hopefully one of these days I'll get into listening to all that stuff. I know Gran said it was a great thing back in your guys' time.
Oh, yeah, we did quite the shows. You go get your door or whatever and just leave me here. I'll be fine.
Alright, well, don't get too lonely. Again, if you need us, just let us know. I'll talk to you later this evening.
Okie dokie. So you leave, you head out back on your rounds, or are you going to go get the orderly? What is your next point of mission there, Bethany?
I'm going to go get the orderly because I'm confused on why there was constructions and I didn't know about it.
Okay, all right. You find the orderly. He's in the big kind of like common area. They have kind of an area for activities and eating and other such things. It is a depressing, fluorescently lit beige room that you would expect to find in an old folks' home, but he's kind of moving tables around and putting tables together kind of for this like very small like one-person stage where obviously the performer's going to set up later. He doesn't see you come in. He's just at work.
Hey, I got a question for you.
He stops. He goes, "Oh, Bethany, what can I do for you?"
So, have you guys done any constructions in the last week? Especially in the wing of, like, you know, Spencer and Marcus's area?
No constructions whatsoever. I mean, honestly, right now we're fighting to get people in here so we can stay afloat. If anything, Donna's cut hours. She doesn't have money to put in construction work. Why would they work on a room that's already established?
Well, I mean, I thought I saw a new closet in Spencer's room, but then it was like all of a sudden I thought maybe, I don't know, I think maybe I've just been working too many hours.
You do work too much, Miss Parks. Seriously.
Well, what else am I supposed to do? I can't really sit at home. Graham's not there anymore, and lost Mom and Dad, you know, a few years back.
He kind of.
I mean,
go ahead.
I love being here. It keeps me, you know, going and keeps my mind focused.
It's like, look,
other than
I like to work too, but I'm also really good at sitting and doing nothing. I think you need to learn the art form of it.
I don't do sit and do nothing. I mean, it's either schoolwork or I'm here, and I just like to be busy. If I sit, that might be scary.
I mean, are you afraid of being alone or something?
I've always been with somebody.
I mean, I'm going to say right now, the answer is not working more time at the old folks' home. I mean, this job is depressing enough as it is.
I again, you're just like Donna. You're a Debbie Downer. You gotta make a charity day of every day.
I'm not trying to be like Donna. Seriously. But we've had 2 deaths in the last 2 weeks.
Why'd you have to bring that up? That's just horrible. We gotta think of the good things.
Look, I like thinking about the good things too, but you get to know these people, and then, you know,
I know.
It's not fun.
I know, and that's the hard part. But that's why I always try to remember the good memories of the silly stories they tell you, or the evenings that you sit and put puzzles together, or sometimes they just, want to read Moby Dick with you, and talk about the big whale and all the good stuff.
It's like you got a good heart, Beth. You really do. You want to help me move these chairs, or you got more rounds to do?
No, I only have just the one, and then of course, like I said, that rocker guy is supposed to be showing up here in a few hours, and then we got to listen to that clink clank and clumps and all that on there, and because you really don't know how to put anything together.
That was amazing. Clink clank and clumps. Okay. He laughs at it and just keeps moving chairs. We're gonna fast forward a little bit. Marcus comes back to Spencer's room. He is thoroughly unhappy that he missed the first round of Bethany today, but he also shows you some new pictures of his great-granddaughter who is now going to school, and he's just over the moon. And yeah, go through the day as normal. You take your pills, you eat your food, that's what you do. Beth, you get some lunch, and you just kind of, because of your problems with being alone, you end up spending a lot of time just kind of hanging out at the old folks' home anyway, even though you're not on shift. You get a couple of snide remarks from Donna, who's out and about every once in a while. You're not getting extra credit for this, you should go, and you're like, whatever, I just like hanging out with old people, and that's how that works out. Finally, we get to a little bit later, and Beth, you're in the mess hall with Hank, and in walks our rocker. The rocker, he's really thin, kind of bony, kind of like an old school Mick Jagger build, like you could break him in half sort of thing. He's got a curly hair that he keeps into a ponytail, so kind of the curl comes out behind him. He's younger than you would expect. He's only probably in his late 20s. At least that's what he appears to be. Caucasian again. He's got a studded leather jacket on, and he has, which kind of fills out the lack of build that he has. And then he has jeans and a couple of chains going from his jeans to something, probably his wallet or something. He looks like a rocker, basically. That's what he looks like. Mm-hmm. He comes in. You didn't really talk to him last time. You're not exactly sure if he recognizes you or not. He's also walking with another gentleman, though. This gentleman you've seen before. He usually accompanies the rocker in. This gentleman is, he's a larger, heavier set fellow. No real muscle here. Kind of a long, baggy Hawaiian t-shirt, and he wears this kind of floppy fisherman's cap, if you know what I'm talking about. One of those kind of cloth ones that goes all the way around, but just kind of flops around on his head. He walks in with his pockets in. The Hawaiian t-shirt is kind of red with green palm trees on it, and a few smatterings of orange flowers. He walks in, also in jeans, just kind of hands in his pockets behind the rocker, and then he just kind of walks off and takes a chair towards the back row without even saying anything to you or anybody else. The rocker, however, walks right up to you and goes, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Jagger. What's yours?"
Hi, Jagger. My name's Bethany. Is there anything we can help you with before you have to set up?
He extends his hand to you. "Bethany, nice to meet you. Just gonna get set up, no problem. Same place as usual."
Yeah, that's where we've got you. Is there anything that we can get for you? Do you need any drinks, snacks?
You know what? I'd love a Coca-Cola. Don't get a Coca-Cola much where I'm from.
Coca-Cola. Nothing else? No chips? No goldfish?
No. You guys don't have anything I eat here.
We have, like I said, crackers. We have goldfish.
Like I said, Bethany, I'm gonna get a snack later. Don't worry. Just a Coca-Cola would be fine.
Perfect. I'll get right on that right now. Have a good show.
I hope you watch, Bethany.
Sure.
He does like a finger gun at you, and then like walks over to the stage with his guitar. Kind of pulls open the case. He also has an amp on kind of like a dolly, like a few amps and stuff on a dolly. He rolls over and starts to plug everything in. Meanwhile, the guy in the Hawaiian t-shirt just kind of sits at the back row, hands still in his pockets, just kind of sits there very calmly and politely waiting. Do you do anything else other than get him a Coke?
I'm going to walk over to that gentleman.
Okay.
Hi. Nice to meet you. My name's Bethany Parks. I am a helper here at the home. Are you looking for anything to drink, snacks, anything I can help you with today?
He looks up like wide-eyed as you say all that, and he's like, wow, that's a lot of choices. I'm not really good with choices, but it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Parks. I'm good.
Are you sure? I mean, I can get you a water.
No. I'm fine. I don't need anything. I'm just gonna...
Alright, well, I usually stand in the back while he's doing his show and stuff, and as we bring in the elderlies and stuff as they watch the shows, I walk around just to make sure if they need anything, I can help them. So if you need me, just kind of wave and I'll come over and see what I can help you with. But I hope you guys have a good show.
He actually like shakes his head and kind of looks at you and goes, man, I always forget how nice you are.
You've been here before?
He's like, oh, yeah, I was here the last time with him. I watched you. I don't think you saw me. I watched you with some of the other folks. Go ahead and we're gonna do a contested roll real quick. You're gonna do perception awareness. You're contested against one of his stats. You need to beat a 24.
I don't. I only got a 14.
You don't necessarily remember seeing him, but totally possible. You weren't in the position you are last time. The last time the rocker came, all of the guests were already in the hall. You know what I mean? So you kind of like came in during the show, so he could have been sitting there and you just not noticed.
Well, do you normally sit in this spot? Maybe with a different area?
No. Like I said, this will be fine.
Okay, well, like I said, if you need me at all during the show, just let me know. I love to help. I hope you have a cherry day.
I hope you do too, Miss Parks. And then he just kind of looks back at the rocker, just waiting.
And then I leave to go get the Coke.
Okay, we're going to switch back over to Spencer York. Marcus is getting dressed. What is Spencer York doing? Let's get a quick description of Spencer York at this current time.
Right now, Spencer, he's about 5'10". His short, very gray hair with tinges of color in it. Dresses. Well, he says it was all with the rage, but somewhat unkempt. Older, kind of, I want to say, like surplus kind of baggy clothes. Doesn't really dress up too much.
Marcus actually, when he comes back, takes off the flannel, puts on a nice dress shirt with like a vest. He puts on some Dockers, and he combs his hair way too much. You can tell that he is he's definitely preparing himself for Bethany. At that point, he kind of walks over to you and goes, "All right, let's go see a rock show, man."
Let's see if this kid can stay in key for half the show.
It wasn't that bad. You're so hard on people.
Remember what we were doing at half his age? You're gonna you're gonna take out the last couple of hairs on that head of yours if you keep up with that Coleman nonsense.
It's like, what? I gotta look fly for you know who.
Well.
You guys plod on down the you plod on down the hallway, and he actually looks at the house that you yet again just kind of carrying with you. He goes, "Can I see it?"
Why do you want to see this thing again? It's still the same old house.
He's gonna attempt to snatch it away from you. Do you want to contest?
He's gonna contest.
Okay. So you are trying to roll agility, and we'll actually do hand-to-hand here, even though it's not damage or anything.
Must be comically bad. Alright, old people fighting, go.
He got 21.
He's a little bit younger than me. That's what happens. Not fast enough at all.
He snatches it away just as you guys start to walk into the dining room. You get a little irritated with him on this, but you see he just puts it up and smells it. He goes, I knew she picked it up. I could tell. I could smell it a mile away. Which is probably one of the creepiest things Marcus has ever said to you, but he does do that from time to time, just be incredibly creepy. And he's like, sweet Bethany.
Oh, why you gotta make it weird, man?
He's like, what? I'm 80-something. Who cares if it's weird? You guys walk in. You kind of see the entire situation. The rocker's up on stage. He's kind of tuning his guitar. He actually brought an amp this time. Last time he went completely acoustic. But he's brought an amp this time. He's got the microphone. He's kind of fixing with the microphone. You also see the Hawaiian t-shirt guy. Kind of on. There's two big rows of chairs. About like, not that many. Maybe like 10 chairs total on either side. He's at the back of the right side. On the left side, you see Carl and Rebecca Watson, who is an old couple who has been put in here, and they are already fighting. They are old. Like, you feel like they're older than... Back to where we were. Sorry about that.
Okay.
When you guys walk into the room, you see, like I said, the Watsons on one side. They're already bickering. You see the old guy like, I didn't want to come here and watch this guy. You see the girl goes, shut up. I liked him. I liked him last time. He's like, he's too young for you. And she's like, I'm married to you, you idiot. I don't do anything with him. He's like, of course you're not. He's too young for you. They're just back and forth sniping at each other. And then that's it. That's all the people in the room. Bethany's in the room as well. Just kind of like making sure everything goes to plan. You go in and sit down?
Yeah, just rolling his eyes. Just, tries to get the house back. His bat's over there. Go throw your game or whatever they say now.
He looks at her and goes, no. You gotta be patient. You gotta let the quarry come to you. He waves at you and winks at you, Bethany. Then he looks back at you, Spencer, and goes, I'm gonna try and get her to give me a sponge bath. And then he sits down. Sits down with you. You guys are about midway down on the right side. The guy in the Hawaiian t-shirt still sitting there behind you. Spencer, when you sit down and you look back at him, you get a familiar feeling about him. You've never met him before. He's too young to have been like a friend of yours, but there's just something about him. And you see that he is immediately looking at you, and he just kind of like nods at you. All right, so we're going to make our first resolution roll. since we are now deep into the plot. You're probably going to fail this one. That's how they usually go. The way that the resolution will go is that they happen at thresholds. This first one is going to be at 20 because it's the first threshold. So you'll have to beat 20, which is pretty hard. You have to roll a 20. But the idea is, as you make strides to get to the root of the problem or the issue of the episode, your score will go down until it hits a plot threshold. Oh, I'm sorry, it actually is at 15. Plot thresholds happen at 15, 10, and 5. Plot thresholds force the characters to make a D20 roll. They are trying to roll above the resolution. And basically what you do is if you're going to call when you make the resolution something you think is going on here. If you are depending on how successful or how much you fail, that's going to change the plot. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys, either one of you can make the roll, but only one of you can. So you get to decide which one of you wants to make the roll. The first threshold will be at 15.
I'll make it.
Yeah, I was say I don't know if you've seen my other games, but I have very, very widely swinging luck.
Okay. All right. So in that case, Jackie, name a thing that you think is going on here. And then make your roll, but first name it so that we know if it is that or not.
I am thinking that the rocker, every time he visits the old folks' homes, it's like he's almost like playing how do I say it? Like a mesmerizing lullaby. Like it's almost like he's playing the music, and it's almost like it's like I'm saying, like mesmerizing the old people and stuff like that. Like making them maybe forget something or not see certain things when certain things are showing up, stuff like that.
Okay, give me a resolution roll.
I got an 18.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's see what that means. Over the resolution by 1 to 5, which is where you rolled, the resolution difficulty now drops by 5. If this is a threshold, the character makes a discovery or figures out a big piece of plot, pushing them closer to the resolution. So our overall resolution has dropped to 10. I do want to say something to you guys. There is another type of resolution roll. I'm going to drop it to 11 so that we don't have to immediately make another threshold roll. Should you decide at any point in time to make a final resolution roll, this will decide the outcome of the story. Okay? We'll immediately move to the finale based on how good you roll, and how hard that finale will be on how good you roll. So,
okay.
You can call that at any time. Again, though, sometimes I'm going to ask you to make thresholds, and this time I gave you the choice, but sometimes I will force one of you to make it. Okay? But we're down to 11 on your overall resolution of the plot. Great job. So as far as the other thing, the characters make a discovery that figures out a big piece of the plot of pushing them forward. So here's what I'm going to do here, because you don't necessarily have all the information to figure out the mesmerizing thing, but I'm going to say this. Every time he shows up, they've had a death. And for whatever reason, while you're in there, you put that together. The last 2 deaths that Hank was talking about were on days that this rocker visited the old folks' home.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, so, with that out of the way, first threshold down, the rocker starts to play. He starts to play. Just starts to play his rock. Today, his rock is not too heavy. It's pretty mild. Even with the amp, he's still playing much slower tunes, not really harder tunes. And yeah, he just starts to kind of look around the audience. He seems to kind of look around the audience. He nods almost, which is weird. And then kind of looks again in a different direction. He ends up eyeballing Marcus like locking eyes with Marcus, and then he switches up his tune. This is about the third song in, and he just starts to play again. But it's a real slow tune, and the chorus of it is something along the lines of, "You're out of time, you're out of luck, you're out of time, you're out of luck," over and over again. And it's very strange, but at this point, I'm going to need Spencer to give me a perception awareness check.
Oh, it's hard being old. Okay. I'm gonna burn the all of tune momentum to reroll that.
Go for it.
That was all I had. Better. That's a 13.
Okay, all right. The song has a weird effect on you, just a weird effect on you. And one thing you definitely caught is the guy in the Hawaiian t-shirt seems really invested in whatever is going on right now. Like, he's kind of perked up and he's watching. And then you see him kind of like, his eyes kind of go cross, like something's wrong. And then you turn over and you swear for just a second, you see like particulates leaving Marcus's lungs. You're not exactly sure why, and you immediately can just see that he's not breathing right. Like, he was just watching, he was enthralled, and then all of a sudden he's just not breathing.
Like, at all?
Yeah, like his breathing has stopped. He's not dead, but he's not getting air.
I elbow him.
He looks at you panicked.
I'm gonna grab well, they're here. Actually, he's gonna kick his own chair over.
Okay. You kick your own chair over. Bethany, you notice Spencer stand and kick his own chair over.
I'm gonna run over. Spencer, you okay? I mean, this is not normal.
He just grabs you and pushes Marcus. You and Marcus in the same direction, because Marcus is not breathing.
Bethany, you immediately notice that Marcus is not breathing when Spencer pushes you at him.
Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna continue to take him out of the room, like, as quickly as possible, and get him out, like, I'm guessing in the big room there's the doors, correct?
Yeah.
Are they open or closed?
They're closed right now.
So I'm gonna kind of like turn myself backwards to where I'm able to like bump them open, to where even if there's a handle of some sort that needs to open the lever, to be able to get him outside of the doors.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm gonna need a force build check to lift Marcus and carry him through the door. I'm gonna say that the difficulty is gonna be only 10 since you are used to this.
I got a 14.
Okay, I am going to give you a momentum on that because you initiated it.
Okay.
So you pick him up, and you start to kind of throw one arm over your shoulder, pick him up, and start to kind of drag him toward the doors in quite a feat of strength, a nursely feat of strength. You hit the lever, the doors open. Spencer, what do you do?
I'm helping her get him through the doors.
Okay. Before you can do that, give me an endurance resolve check, because Marcus drops the little toy house.
I thought I got that back from him. That's a nil. That is a 3.
Okay.
Sorry, 4. That's a 4.
Instead of helping him, you're immediately like, where the fuck is my toy house? So you reach down, grab the toy house, you kind of find it, it fell under one of the chairs, you pick it up, and you breathe this sigh of relief. Unfortunately, that sigh of relief comes with the voice that you haven't heard in years and years and years. Open the door, open the door, open the door. And again, you feel yourself starting to turn towards the door. It's just outside your peripheral, just outside your vision. Bethany, I want you to give me a perception awareness check. Yeah. Spencer, don't do anything unless you want to call for something.
I'm 11.
What?
I have 11.
All right, you are pretty focused on Marcus, but when you hit the lever to kind of open the doors swing open. You kind of look around behind you just to make sure that you're not like forgetting anything or tripping over anything. The rocker has stopped playing and is looking relatively irritated. The two Watsons have stopped fighting, and they're watching you leave. One of them, the guy is like, "Oh no, another one!" And then the old woman's like, "I don't know what it is about this place. It's cursed." Yeah, curses don't exist. You're an idiot. And they're just sniping at each other. You see the Hawaiian t-shirt guy just kind of shrug as if nothing matters. But behind all of this, on the door, on the wall that would go to the outside, that blue door, the same closet-like blue door that you saw in Spencer York's room, kind of becomes evident for you in a second.
I'm going to make sure that Marcus is outside of those doors and kind of like shut them behind me.
Okay.
And I'm going towards that blue door because I saw it the last time and I didn't go and do anything for it. So I'm going to actually go this time and actually go towards it to see if it goes away.
All right, when you get outside the doors and you shut the doors and you put Marcus down, you do realize Marcus has completely stopped breathing. He's not dead, but like you could see his eyes are like in panic.
Okay, so that's going to then alter what I'm going to do.
I figured.
Because I'm then now going to start CPR because that's what Beth would do.
I do like the idea of being the meta Doctor Who fan and just tossing the dead body like, "Oh, you're out of here! Gotta get to that door!" Okay, give me a medical and intelligence check. Difficulty is 10. And you will gain a momentum if you pass, because this is a you thing. While you're... keep hold of the score in your head. Spencer, what are you doing?
So I've got the house, and I still can't see this door thing.
You do suddenly get interrupted by the rocker. Bloody hell! You're kidding! And he seems to... It's almost like he's talking to you. You're not exactly sure what, and then he just looks at him and goes, "How does this keep bloody happening?" You see the Hawaiian t-shirt guy stand up behind you, and then he actually nods towards you, and then kind of just starts to walk off. At that point, the rocker turns towards you.
You can't even play a whole... Can't even keep your set going. That's why you're playing for us old folks. Keep it going, kid.
It's like, all right, old man. And then he sits down. He is deadlocked eyes on you, and then he starts to play again. You see the two old people next to you. The one guy's like, "Oh, the concert's still going? Does he know somebody's dying?" "I don't know. Show must go on." And the Watsons just kind of sit back down. Back with you, Bethany. You're standing over the Marcus, kind of doing a check. What did you roll?
24.
Okay. His heart's collapsed. Like you could tell, like you do a full examination. He is straight up had a heart attack, and it is not good for Marcus. You see his eyes kind of... He grabs your wrist, just looking for comfort, as basically he is dying.
I'm going to comfort him. I'm going to continue to talk to him and say, I loved coming with you every day and visiting. You always put a smile on my face. Don't tell anybody, but you were my favorite.
He actually does smile. He seems to relax. His hand on your wrist kind of slowly relaxes. He smiles, and you just basically watch the light leave his eyes. And this is rough because I don't believe Bethany has ever actually seen somebody die in front of her. She is training to be a nurse, but this is her first straight up dead person in front of her. So I'm going to need you to give me an endurance resolve roll, and I'm going to need you to, that difficulty is going to be a 15.
I pass.
You pass?
Yeah, I have a 21.
Oh, okay. So you managed to steel yourself. He is dead, and it is very sad, but it doesn't freeze you or put you into shock or anything like that. You kind of reach up, close his eyes with your hands, and you see Hank running down the hallway at you. Oh my God, what happened? And then before you answer, we're going to switch back into the room. Spencer, you are sitting in this chair, and the rocker begins to play again. He begins.
Oh no, I'm not sitting down for this. I'm
Oh, okay.
I'm yelling at this guy, and after I've got my house, I can't. This stupid door outside my vision. I'm doddering after Bethany.
Okay, you daughter after Bethany. Neither one of you see this, but you see the rocker just like, he just frowns, he scowls, he grits his teeth, and then he starts to just like walk after you. We see the guy in the Hawaiian t-shirt and the fisherman hat get like concerned. He shakes his head no, and the rocker just ignores him. He actually like flips him off, gives him the bird, and just follows you out of the room. We're gonna take a second though. You open the doors. Bethany is standing over Marcus. He is no longer with us. Your one last connection, your one last friend is gone from this world.
Endurance resolve.
I love it when you call your own reactionary rolls. Sure, go for it.
8.
Okay, you have a serious issue right now. Spencer's kind of breaking down.
Yeah.
This was it. This was the last thing. Like, you lived vicariously through him. Like he was your only family, really, your only friend, and he is gone. You just see him dead there. Suddenly and without question.
Complete denial.
Okay.
He just drops down with the two of you. Marcus, you bastard! Get up! This is the... What do you think you're doing?
You see this, Bethany, you're there.
She's right here!
Zach, I'm gonna roll the endurance empathy roll for reaction. Is that okay?
It won't be endurance. I will give you charisma and empathy.
Okay.
What are you trying to do? Like calm him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that is going to be a natural 20 with 4, so it's 24.
Take another momentum. MVP right over here. Beth, how do you calm him? It's going to work, but what is it like? You can see him just kind of basically yelling at Marcus to get up. You can see he's in shock. He's not accepting the death. Hank has actually stopped over all three of you because he's not exactly sure what to do. Like, he knows how to take care of the body, but he doesn't know how to deal with Spencer right now.
So I'm gonna kind of like help Spencer up away from Marcus a little bit to try and kind of get him away from the situation, and be like, "It's okay, Spencer. I mean, he had his last show, and it's gonna be okay. You know, just we gotta remember the good times of, you know, you guys rocking out, and all those groupies that you guys got to see on the road, and you know, all those wonderful times you guys got to spend together. You know, I know it came a little sooner than what you thought, but we all know it comes at one point in time for us."
You don't understand. He's right there.
Yeah.
What left?
But again,
Oh,
you gotta
God.
remember, Spencer. You gotta remember, we get called when we least expect it.
One thing I do want to state, you definitely are calmed by Bethany. She is successful. You kind of start to feel yourself in the moment, and you're about to break down, you're about to cry, and then that's when the doors get flung back open again, and the rocker is standing there right in front of you. It's like, bloody hell, you're making this hard. Seriously! He points right at Spencer and goes, "Now, stand still, mate!" And then he whips his guitar around. It's not hooked up to an amp, but he starts to play it, and it starts to make noise. Like, not just a plucking noise, like as if it was plugged into an amp. And at this point, I'm going to force a resolution roll from Spencer.
Oh boy.
You are at an 11. I'm sorry, you are at a 10. Go down by 1. You are at a 10. Roll a d20, but you must make a claim as to what's happening.
I mean, I've watched enough Doctor Who at this point. This guy's clearly some kind of alien who's taking our life. It's Boba Hotep, man.
Boba Hotep!
He's taking the lives of us old folks with his weird alien magic guitar.
The sad moment when a game master realizes that one of his players is nerdy enough as him to know what he has based certain things off of has just happened.
Yeah,
to me.
but that movie is amazing.
It's amazing.
Right?
It's amazing.
Unfortunately, I'm still terrible at rolling, so that is an 8.
Okay, so let's see what that means. Rolling under the resolution by up to 5 or under, which is what you have. This means the character suffers a minor consequence. Maybe their resources drop or they become separated. Maybe someone loses access to a perk. This is tough because we're not really at a point where stuff's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. So Hank steps up.
Go on, take one of my perks. Do it.
Hank steps up instead. He's like, "Excuse me, sir, you're gonna have to go." And you see him just be like, "Mate, get out of the way!" And he's like, "No." And he starts to reach for the rocker. The rocker plays one hard chord, just a wow, and you see Hank just like shudder. The life drains from him. Blood comes out of his eyes, and he topples over. I bloody warned him. And then he turns back to Spencer and goes, "Now stay still!" And then he picks up the pick. What are you guys doing?
I'm doing that,
What is the closest room to the larger room?
I would say a bathroom, definitely. That makes sense. Like right outside.
So I'm going to slowly, I'm going to, again, as a nurse, she thinks of safety first. Okay. So she just saw what happened to Marcus, so she's going to take Spencer, make sure he has the house with him, and escort him to the restroom.
Okay, both of you make me.
I'm gonna do. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Call.
Perception resolve.
Okay. For what reason?
Wants to make. He's trying to consciously make a good decision in the moment and not panic or rage out.
Okay, sweet. Give me that roll. We're gonna say difficulty 10, I would say, and then depending on that, we will make a potential attack roll on the two of you as Bethany tries to rush you guys into the bathroom.
That's a 10 on the dot.
That's a tie. So that is not actually a success.
Really, hold on. I asked for because that's See, I keep asking for resolve with characters who don't have resolve.
Okay, so what are you gonna do flip out wise? Because this isn't a super fail, so like you can temper it. If you super failed this, I'd be like you dive at him or something. But like,
oh yeah,
you're right on the dot.
You know, we used to back in my day. We used to throw down under the thing.
Right. Rocka versus Rocka.
Listen, I did not play in any nice clubs. Is there something near me other than Marcus?
Call high.
Like
Call high.
Hi.
What are you looking for?
Is there just some kind of like an object, like a chair,
Sure.
or a...
There's a cleaning cart standing there, so there are various buckets, squeegees, cleaning supplies on it of bluntness. It's also on rollies.
I chuck it at him.
The whole cart?
The whole cart.
Okay, alright. Here's what I want to have happen. Yeah, well, we're going to do it this way. Spencer, you get an attack roll on him, so go for it. We're going to say that would be... We're going to say that would be melee. Because you are using a weapon, plus your force, as per se usual.
I'm going to count that as ranged thrown, but yeah, that works.
Well, whenever you're throwing a weapon, it's melee. It's the melee
Okay, I'll
score.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind. And then, depending on what happens there, Hope Child will make your rolls for dragging him in the bathroom.
That's a 17.
Ooh, you hit him, man! You hit him by quite a bit, too. Okay, so 17. I guess that would be a 1 blunt on that. So, 17. Hit him by 7. He's gonna have to give me an injury roll.
That's a 7? I don't remember what they're offhand. I'll look.
They're all at the
Put
back.
a bucket on his head.
Yeah, a bucket on his head. We can do that. All the way to the bottom of that. Wasting time. Wasting valuable time. Torso. It's torso. Okay.
Hit him dead center.
So here's what happens. You're just like, ah! You just old man rage comes on you like nobody's business. You grab this cart and you just like chuck it with all of your strength. So much so that you fall forward and land on your hands and knees. Like that's how much oomph you put into this cart. The rockers,
which isn't probably that much oomph, but it's a lot for an old man. All right.
The rocker has just started playing his tune, so he doesn't kind of really see it coming. He's like, "Oh bloody hell!" And then it just slams into him, right into his chest. It picks him up on the cart. It actually rolls him backwards into the chairs in the auditorium. Just they just crash, slam backwards to the stage. A lot of obscenities comes from him. The Watsons are like, I think it's time we go. The woman's like, yeah, I think we can go. And then they start just like getting out of there. At this point, Bethany, we don't have to roll anymore. You grab Spencer and drag him into a bathroom. Yeah, so you guys are in the bathroom. You don't know what's happening outside.
What were you thinking?
That's how we handle things on the west side.
Well, this is different, Spencer. This is not the west side anymore. There are other people you have to think about here.
I bet he's not even English.
Alright, so at this point, Spencer, you guys are fighting, and you start to hear the voice again, loudly. Open the door, open the door, open the door, open the door. At this point...
door.
Again, you start to kind of turn. You say that, and you kind of start to turn. So, Bethany, you hear him say that. He starts to kind of turn, seeing a door out of his peripherals. Bethany, suddenly, between urinals A and B, which makes no sense, there is a big blue door in the wall of this men's bathroom. Just wasn't there when you walked in, but it's there now.
Spencer, are you seeing this door?
Why are you hearing about a door too? And he's just kind of looking around.
Should we open it?
That's all I hear anymore. It's just opening doors.
Resolution check. We are at 5. It's on. Honestly, it's either one of you. Who wants to make a roll?
Go, Spencer!
Oh, right, redemption attempt.
Okay, it's only a 5.
Oh, thank goodness it's only a 5, because that was an 8.
8. What's your call on what this was going to be? I forgot to ask ahead of time.
I like my dimensional doors. This is... And I was originally thinking it was the door in the house, but hey, this works too. Metaphorical doors to the soul and probably a TARDIS.
Okay! So, Spencer, something about this door. You have been afraid, just absolutely afraid to open the door, to look at the door. Your entire life, it's been there. Like, since you got that toy house from your parents, it's been there, and you've been afraid to look at it. But suddenly, right now, you could see that Bethany sees the door, and for some reason, that allows you to be like, maybe I've been doing this all wrong. Maybe I need to look at the door. Maybe I need to open the door, like the voice says. So what do you do?
Can I even see it?
It's still on the.
Let myself see it.
Right. Every time you've been started to look at it, something has come up through your entire life, or you've pulled yourself away. You've never made the choice to look at the door. Let's put it that way.
Spencer, look at the door. Just let me know I'm not crazy.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh. Yeah, that inspiration is enough. It is.
Nice.
No, he's got nothing left.
You turn.
All right.
Fully, you see the door. It's standing there in the urinal, just like she said, right in front of you. Blue door, normal handle, like it looks like a house door. It really does, just standing right in front of you. This is the first time you've really ever seen it.
It falls over.
You hear the voice again. Open the door. Walk through the door. Open the door. Walk through the door. I need you.
I never did anything someone told me my whole life. I got nothing left. And just like crawls himself up and then slams into the door.
All right, you slam into the door. It doesn't open. You have to turn the knob.
Funk.
As you kind of realize you have to turn the knob, you're looking down at the knob. You actually see the bathroom door it literally cuts in half as if a sword from some old cartoon cut it, and there's no sword, and then it blows off its hinges. Bethany, I'm going to need you to give me a agility plus unarmed to dodge the door as it is flung at you. You have to roll above a 15.
I'm right below him at 14.
Well, that's not too bad.
Momentum?
Yeah, I mean, well, she's got soak. That's going to soak it to almost nothing, so she's all right. What's your endurance?
Yeah, drop a momentum and lower the difficulty.
My endurance is 2.
2? You'll soak it. You'll soak it to nothing. The door flies at you. You actually get your arm up. It slams into your forearm. It kind of throws you off your feet. You hit the ground with a and the door knocks away to the side. You look up and you see the rocker standing in front of you. He does not look like a rocker anymore. His lips, where the cheeks were, have separated. So now his entire jaw is like loose from its head, and you just see rows of shark teeth inside. His eyes have turned into fish eyes, and his hair has basically vanished. And you just see him, like, he cracks his neck and he's like, I told you to stand still. So what do you do, Spencer?
And I told you to play in tune. Door.
All right. You fall through this door into a TARDIS, without a doubt. It is a control room. You've got this, but it's like the old school TARDIS for any Doctor Who fans out there. Back when it was just white and it just had a control when it was young and new and fresh. And you just fall into this basically other dimension. The door slams shut behind you, and all of a sudden you kind of look at your hands and you see red particles, not gold. Red particles start to flow from your hands, from your face, from everything, and then boom! Energy hits you like a ton of bricks. You are just, your entire DNA shifts and changes and twists as you experience regeneration for the first time. All right, so yeah, you're hit with this red energy, and then boom, what do you look like? Because you don't look like Spencer anymore.
Get the...
Yeah! Losing the hair! Love it! I love it. Oh! Yes! 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 Oh my god. Anybody listening to this needs to go back 15 seconds and watch.
And now I don't have the full color, but Spencer his hair has gone straight back out. And washed pure, like, bright, dyed this with, jello green, bright red eyes.
Yes.
Still not super well kept, still kind of scraggly, but a little bit cleaner. He's definitely the full 5'10" and not, punched and drawn, and he's got way more light to him than he did before.
No more old man shrinkage.
No.
Alright, so do you step back outside the door?
No, it's have to give a little bit of an intro for that.
Oh yeah,
take the advantage
go for
of
it. Do it. I'm not trying to rush you.
He stands up and just his eyes are kind of wild.
Deep red
and wide. He turns quickly. Bethany, you were right. There's so much. He like grabs her by the shoulders. There's so much life left.
Yeah. So he stepped out.
He thinks again.
The creature you, for whatever reason, know is called a Melodian, suddenly interrupts and goes, "Excuse me, trying to kill you here."
This turd. Oh, where are my manners? Of course, you have to see. Is stroll back out into the bathroom. You know I can't very well let you stay here. Coming through here taking taking people's last moments as you tend to do. Oh, I know about you. You didn't think you'd find me here.
He's like, look, I was contracted to do a job. That's it. It's nothing personal. The other one's collateral damage. You were harder to locate than I was previously told. Give me a knowledge intelligence roll. 24? Wow. Wow, apparently you needed to regenerate. Okay. The Melodians, they use music, specific sound waves that they play with guitars that they fashion themselves on their home planet. They use that music to steal souls and have become harsh assassins. They usually live in peace and take only what they need from each other, and it's how they live. However, many of them go outside their world and become very vicious and nasty assassins who can actually consume life with that music.
I know some of you do tend to stray from your worlds to pick up work, but I'm afraid this is not a world for you.
Bethany, you can get to your feet in the bathroom now. He's like, run along? You think I'm gonna run along? I'm here to take a Time Lord. That's what I was promised. Time Lord energy, making me the most powerful, the best of all the assassins from this side of the Milky Way to the Gamma Quadrant. So, I hate to tell you, but it's time for you to stand still and listen. And then he starts to play. What do you do?
I think he just said it's time for you to go.
See, I had something I wanted to do. I was thinking of doing earlier. But I don't have.
So on his guitar, is it still connected to the amp?
No, it isn't. He's just walking around with it. The amp was part of the camouflage, basically.
Got it.
I never said that the weakness you came up with is wrong, but
Oh, okay.
So
Here I've got all my stuff that.
So Bethany's going to kind of like push the gentleman backwards to where he like stumbles to where he almost drops the guitar.
Okay, give me an attack roll. Hand to hand and force. Bethany rushes up and just basically decides to tackle him. You're mid speech to him, and she just rushes forward. Ah!
Well, because I'm putting two and two together, like he was playing the music, then all of a sudden Marcus passed away, then he kept telling him to stand still, and then he started playing the music, so to her, she's putting it all together.
It is in no way, shape, or form illogical that you would come to this understanding.
Do I have a difficulty for that, Zach?
Oh, it's a contested, sorry. Oh, shit! Okay. What'd you roll total?
I got an 18.
Alright. So you just wail into him. Just nail him. Give me another D10, D20 roll for targeting, because you caused another injury for him.
A 6.
6 is torso. Alright. So you rush forward, you slam into him. He is completely taken off guard, off balance. The guitar flies away from him, crashes to the ground of the bathroom floor. You actually end up on top of him, then kind of rolling off of him with the force of the ram. What do you do, Brian?
Oh, I was perfectly mid-speech, and well, that will do it too.
He turns towards the guitar. Definitely, he's holding his ribs. He's definitely got a cracked rib.
Do I notice him looking towards the guitar?
Oh yeah.
Me rolling with him and stuff. I'm gonna go towards the guitar as well.
All right, hold on. I want to give Spencer a chance, Aether. It's definitely Aether's turn.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's say, yes, you can't keep a tune, you can't hold the stage, and you can't even stand in the pit. Why don't you cool off a bit? And I'm going to Sonic the sprinklers.
Okay, so just for the record, your character does not normally come with a Sonic. Are you using an advantage to gain the Sonic?
I have my advantage for the Sonic.
Yes. Wonderful. We will figure out the exact stats for that later. I love that you did that. So yeah, blow! You whip out a Sonic. You hit the sprinklers. The sprinklers turn on. You see the Melodian, who does not quite understand what's happening, stand up as the water drops on him. He's like, "What are you trying to do? It's not like this is H2O!" Ah! And he literally, and Bethany, this is crazy for you. You're scrambling for the guitar. You grab it and turn around just in time to literally watch this rock star melt like the Wicked Witch of the West in front of you. Just and like fall over, slowly start to disintegrate piece by piece, leaving the two of you alone in the bathroom with a blue door. The guitar ceases to exist. It starts to melt as well.
Oh man, I was gonna hand it over to Spencer and tell him to play a tune.
There's time and better places with better guitars than they have.
So what do you guys do? You're still standing there in the bathroom soaking. I haven't figured this thing out yet. I don't know how to turn that off. You should. Sprinklers just keep raining down.
Should we go?
Let's get out of here. I bet there's better places to be.
Okay, so as Spencer walks up to the door and touches the knob to open it, the door itself, almost as if contorting to his will, almost as if it's contorting to become part of him, slowly becomes purple from blue, switching in kind of like shape a little bit. Still looks like a wooden door, but just shifts what it kind of looks like in space-time. And then both of you walk through the door and shut the door, which ends our first episode. This has been ID, a Doctor Who actual play podcast, Episode 1, The Ballad of Death and Doors. The Drifter / Spencer York was played by Aether Dios. Bethany Parks was played by Hope Child. And then your GM and writer was Zachariah from Old Man Gaming. All music was provided by the man who makes the music, Nick Van Sliders. This game is being played by Single Mod, an Axiom Games LLC system. Should you wish to procure a copy, please go to itch.io and then search for Single Mod in the search bar. Thank you for watching or listening, and please join us again next week for another episode.